The Jim Norton Show starts now.
Ah, yes. So, how funny. We had Jeffrey Tambor. We interviewed him. That's the Ropers theme song. Of course, Bailey J is my co-host today.
Hi.
And I don't know if you recognize that music, but there was a sitcom called...
No, the Ropers, right?
Oh, you do remember?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. It didn't exactly go syndicated, but I've seen like one or two episodes.
Yeah, I think that's all there were. And Jeffrey Tambor was the neighbor, so we interviewed him and introed him with that music, and he did not recognize it. He's like, what's that from? I don't know, you idiot, the show you were on? So, yeah, Bailey and I are here. I'm saying to Bailey, I think that she and I should tape this, because I have fun doing this with you.
I agree. I think my appeal is kind of visual anyway. Makes sense.
No, but listening to you, very good, auditory as well.
My nasally voice.
But you give good advice, and I think that we should do something together. Like,
I agree. I couldn't agree more. I got nothing else going on, so.
No, neither do I. Believe me, every day I look in the mirror, and I'm like, you abject failure. Would you just make something happen? So hopefully the phone lines will light up. I can't see that first one, E-Rock. What is he saying? Maybe Bailey can read it, because I have bad eyes.
Ask Jim how he stayed motivated throughout the year. That's what I read.
Oh, goodness. I don't know how good this will be. All right, put him through.
He's on. To me.
Hi, mister.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. I saw you at the Stress Factory Saturday. A great job.
Thank you.
Yeah, I was just wondering how you stayed motivated throughout the years, doing stand-up. What made you keep going? I'm sure you had some bad times that probably made you think about saying, fuck it.
Well, yeah, kind of like what we were just joking about like, what motivates me to work is the fear that I am a failure. And it's like,
totally. It's
an irrational thing, but do you look in the mirror and think like, wow, I'm doing great, and think like, I am fucking utterly devoid of value?
Well, when I first started doing porn, I always made the joke that like I could get into it if I was like kind of like, but if there was a mirror in the room and I had a chance to go, oh God, like what have I become? Like that moment, like I don't. I think everyone has that fear of like, I better do this or I'm going to be a waitress again, or I better do this or I'm going to have to do. I used to work at Chick-fil-A, and what I do now is a lot less degrading. So I'm just like, oh God, as long as I'm not back at Chick-fil-A, I'm happy. Like I'll take a dick.
But it is this. Believe me, I think I should be saying the same thing. It's the fear is that like, but that's what motivates me, sir. And thank you very much for the call. It's a good question, because I think most of us are motivated by a similar fear, like, I'm nothing. I've achieved nothing, and if I keep feeling like I have to do something. And you know how it's not rational,
right?
But it doesn't matter. It's like that voice in your head isn't rational, but it's very loud.
Anxiety's tricky. I've learned that from having anxiety. Anxiety is very convincing.
Do you like watching will you watch your movies and go like, wow, I look really good there, or do you find flaw in most of them? You
know what? I have moments where most of the time I'm like, oh God, they got me from a profile shot. I don't like my nose, or oh, I don't like this, or oh, because all the girls have 3 nose jobs and bleach blonde hair.
Right.
I'm kind of like vaguely ethnic, and you know what I mean? So it's like I'd kind of like attack that stuff. But then there's times where I'm like, oh shit, I look really skinny, or my tits look fucking huge.
Right.
Or whatever the thing is. Or, someone will come on my face and I'll be like, damn, I have a good fucking face. You know what I mean? I have these moments. But for the most part, it's me just like attacking the shit out of myself. Like, oh, stretch mark. Oh, weird thing. Or why is my stomach doing that? You know what I mean? It's like anybody.
Yeah. You start to feel like I got to do something, better. E-Rock, who do we have on? Just read me a couple of them. Again, I usually cannot see.
All right. Wife and I are getting ready to hire first tranny. Wants to know what to look for.
Penis.
That's Jerry in Utah.
All right, let's go to Jerry, and then after that, we'll talk to Johnny as a quick Sabbath question. But yes, that's a very good question. I think Bailey can help field this one.
Jerry, you're on.
Hi.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, my wife and I are going to place an ad on Craigslist. We're going to pick out a tranny to be with. I'm wondering what to put on there, because we keep getting cross-dressers and everything else, and we want a Bailey.
I think most transsexuals that you're going to find that are that hot and what you want are going to be pay for play. I think it's going to be really hard. Go on erosguide.com and just look.
Yeah, definitely. Well, you get what you pay for, and that's with anything. A lot of the prettier girls are really expensive escorts, and girls like me are too pretty to escort. So I never got into escorting, but you're gonna, if you're on Craigslist, you're gonna have to take what you can get, and it's probably gonna be cross-dressers and crunchy looking girls who aren't quite there, because they're only fucking you to pay for a boob job.
Right.
So, they're just not there yet.
Someone looks like Bubba Smith in a blonde wig. Fucking still has like the raised fucking like, you know, tattoo from college. Yeah, it's not, you're not going to find anything unless you pay for it.
No,
really
nothing like it's sincerely passable, probably. But you could, sometimes there are cute cross-dressers out there, you know, so.
Yeah.
And Jimmy, what was that one you said to go to?
Erosguide.com. Where do you live?
Like Salt Lake, Utah.
Of course.
Okay, yeah, there's some in you. Yeah, it is. You can find them in Utah, I'm sure. But erosguide.com or backpage.com, and you can find them.
Okay, we'll do.
Good luck, my friend. What is John in North Carolina wants to ask about Black Sabbath?
He wants to know what your take is about Black Sabbath removing Bill Ward off the website.
Hi, buddy. Well, like you, I mean, I'm a Sabbath freak, as you know, and from what I understand, and I've asked. I haven't asked Bill, but I've asked Ozzy, Tony, and Geezer. Bill wanted to be taken off the website because of the problems they have. It was Bill's lawyers who contacted Sabbath and said, take Bill's image off the site.
Really?
Yeah.
That kind of surprises me, all the history. It's almost like he's wiped out of the history.
Yeah, no, they would not wipe him out. No. That was at Bill's. I think Bill's very unhappy with the way things went down. And again, I asked Ozzy and Geezer about this last week. And Geezer said we didn't even know he was having contract problems until it became public. Like, they're all dealing with lawyers, and there's, you know, it's on that level, they just do it very differently. But I'm very sad that it fell apart like that. But, you know, look, I still love Ozzy, Geezer, and Tony, and Bill.
Hey, I'm a big fan like yourself. One other quick question, if you don't mind. Have you heard the entire album? Yeah, I have it. And I'm actually interviewing Tony tomorrow on ISDN, and I have the new Sabbath. It's called 13, comes out June 11th. Yep. And I swear to you, it's fucking, I'm obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. What's that? Wait to buy it. I'm buying it on vinyl. I can't wait.
All right, enjoy it, buddy. It's great. Okay, who else we got, Iraq?
This guy's brother is addicted to gambling and needs help approaching him.
Okay, what's Luke, who has a smoking fetish?
Luke is in Myrtle Beach. Smoking fetish. Have you heard of it?
Yes, I have. Luke?
I know all about smoking fetish.
Yeah, you're a smoker, right?
I quit. I quit.
Did? Okay. Luke?
Hey, Jimmy. Yeah, I just have always had kind of an attraction for a hot woman while she's smoking. I mean, during, a blowjob or even during intercourse. I was just wondering, am I alone on this, or is there anyone else out there you've heard of that has this?
I don't understand it, but it's common, right?
It's so common. While I have never escorted, when I was very young, when I was 18, I was paid $500 to smoke in this guy's garage for him while he took pictures. And from that, and I, as a smoker, the pictures always popped up of me, like candid photos of me smoking, and I got a lot of requests to do smoking videos. Did your mom smoke? Not to get heavy on you.
Yeah, I guess so. And all my aunts back then, because of the era. You know? Okay,
yeah. I mean, I think it's just my impression is that people just get an idea of femininity or something that's really. It also seems like wrong, and you have to admit, if you see a girl that you think is cute and then you see her light up, you're like, oh wait, she fucks. Like, you can just tell as soon as she smokes. It's like, this girl makes bad decisions. She'll probably want to suck my horrible dick. Like.
I always thought maybe it was the bad girl thing, man, because I started noticing it in school even.
I get that. Well, yeah, it's incredibly common. I'd say it's up there with foot fetish. Maybe not quite as much as foot fetish, and they usually go hand in hand or hand in foot.
I was going to say that too. Do you think feet, because feet, there's something about when you notice mommy's toes, or you see something and you get that little stirring in your pants, and you associate these weird things like the toes or the cigarette with that little weird tent you got in your pants, and it's usually probably the mommy or an aunt or something.
Yeah, or like people you saw as a child. I would feel like, 'cause I have a foot fetish. For guys' feet, though. Like, I get off on guys' feet. Wow. But I also have a memory of being like an 8-year-old and some boy holding me down on the ground and putting his feet in my face. And so I feel like, those two things are probably have a lot to do with each other.
Of course they do. Do you want them to smell good or bad?
Bad. Not horrible.
You like a stinky... I like that on a girl, a stinky foot a little bit, yeah.
Well, like, shower sex is the grossest thing I could think of, because then the guy doesn't smell like balls and feet. Like, I want to smell sex. I don't want to smell shampoo. Like, right. That's gross. It's weird.
I've been to strip clubs, and like the girl will be smoking at the bar. We'll go back to have a lap dance. I'll tell her to bring her cigarettes, and it's like they want to throw me out.
Oh wow! Well, you know what? It's not as weird as people would like you to think. Go on clipsforsale.com and look up smoking. I can't tell you how many girls that think they're too good to do porn are willing to do smoking videos. So the girls are actually hotter because they don't have to do anything too bad. You know what I mean?
Right. All right. Thank you.
Good luck, brother. All right. Who's the guy with the gambling problem? Or his brother has a gambling problem?
Yeah, that's Mike in Ohio.
Hi, Mike.
How you doing, Jimmy?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, my brother is addicted to gambling and pills. He's always been kind of a pothead, but I know to me that's fine, whatever. But last time I saw him, I didn't even recognize him.
Yeah.
His eyes were like sunken, black rings. I asked him how his job was going. He was up for a promotion. Did you get it? And he just lashed out at me like, don't you fucking worry about what I'm doing in my life, and I got my shit straight and everything else. And I'm like, bro, I'm just asking you if you got your promotion, you know? And then my dad tells me he's been selling pills on the side and started popping them and got addicted to those. So, and he's going up to the casino like every weekend.
Yeah.
1 week he might win some money. 1 week he loses everything. He owes me a couple grand. He owes my dad a couple grand. But then I see like he's like on Instagram and Facebook with a brand new Gucci watch with black diamonds in it that he paid $5,000 for. And it's like...
So he's just basically, like Bailey just said about the mother smoking, he makes bad decisions. And he's just kind of, he's on a self-destructive path. Like, he'll buy the watch, he'll waste the money. I guess an intervention is the only thing I can suggest, because you can't make him stop.
Right.
Right, and that's what I was wondering about, is I don't know how to approach him, because my whole life I've been his big brother, and I approach him in that big brother, father figure type of way, and it doesn't connect with him. And... he is in the urban scene, and I'm more of a country boy, so he looks at me like a white boy, and, you know, like...
How old are you? I'm sorry to interrupt you. How old are you, and how old is he?
30, and he's 25.
Okay,
but,
young.
I grew up in the country. When I went into the service, my dad divorced my mom and moved to the city, so he grew up in a city atmosphere. So, like, we are, like, day and night.
Well, hold on. But could you... Let me ask you a question. Could you say to him what you just said to us? Like, hey, look... I know that I'm older than you and we have these differences, and like when I talk to you, I come off sounding like dad, and I'm not trying to do that. Is there a way to acknowledge that up front and just sit with him and have a conversation where you're not judging him and you're not saying, hey, you're fucked up and you need to and you shouldn't, but you're saying, look, I'm a little concerned about you for this. And this way, at least you open the door to him coming to you when he's ready.
Well, it can start off that way, but then he'll make some sort of remark or cursing at me or something, and then my temper gets going, and then I revert back to that. You know, like I don't think I've ever seen him as a man.
Well, yeah.
That probably comes through when you're talking to him.
Absolutely.
Though. You know what I mean? Like even if you don't mean to, it's going to come through when you're talking to him, I would think. So I think you're going to have to try really hard not to be a reactionary person, which is hard, but if his tone pisses you off or strikes a chord with your ego and you know you're right and you want to lash out and hurt him back, you have to be the bigger person. And as much as that sucks a big fat dick.
But no, you're right, because you have to realize that your motive for doing this is to help him.
Right.
And what you're dealing with when he's lashing out, and addiction defends itself. People who are addicted violently defend the addiction. Well, no, I'm not. It's fine. Fuck you. That's what we do. So understand that that's what you're dealing with, and that's who you're talking to, and don't allow him to push your buttons, and don't push his. You're trying to help him. You're not trying to beat him or win.
Right. But if, like, the last time I spoke with him, he said that he had it under control and that not to worry about it.
He's probably wrong.
Yeah, I think you're right. He's right.
There's nothing I can do. Like, you can only lead a horse to the water, but you can't make it drink.
Right.
Yes, but you can make him thirsty, as they say. You can make him thirsty. Did you ever think of writing him an email or a well-thought-out letter that you can reread a few times where you talk about how you really feel, and this way he can read it without yelling?
Yeah, well, you know, I try to get a hold of him, but the only way to get a hold of him is for me to literally drive to his place to work and call him. If I ever try to message him on Facebook or email him or text him, he deletes it automatically. He doesn't read it. He doesn't get back to me. It's like, literally, if there's a family emergency, I have to drive 40 minutes north to Detroit just to go see him at his place to work.
Well, then maybe you should stop.
Right.
Maybe you should stop driving 40 minutes north. Like, if he won't respond to Facebook things about family emergencies, maybe then you should stop coddling him and driving to him and feeding into his addiction and being a codependent player in it. You know what I mean? Because if he's really being that much of an asshole, you know, I wouldn't chase him to the four corners of the earth either.
Right.
I would suggest writing the letter, or writing in Facebook, and then if he deletes it, that's beyond your control.
Well,
what are you going to do?
It's not your, in the end, it's not your responsibility, even if you feel like maybe it is. And I'm not saying don't help him, but like there's certain people who, when they won't help themselves and they just can't, you're like giving up your life for someone who obviously doesn't care about theirs.
Well, right, but the thing is, it's like a few times he got himself into some hairy situations, and there was a few individuals threatening his life, and that's the only time I get a call from him.
Right.
If some people are here at my apartment, they're threatening to kill me, come save me. You know, and like, what am I supposed to say? You got yourself in a situation, I want to see you on the news.
Yeah, no. It's very tough when it's family, dude. It's very tough to know the right thing.
I get myself in that situation. I have a wife and a son now.
Sure.
And now I'm like, okay, I'm going to put my life in danger for my brother, and then should I go up there and defend my brother and then trace these guys off and then possibly get shot?
Yeah, of course not. Of course not.
Without a husband and a father.
Yeah.
But, like, he doesn't see it that way, and he only comes to me when he wants to borrow my car.
Of course.
Money, or he needs me to save.
Dude, we understand. You're right. You don't need to convince us.
Right.
Thank you for the call. We got to cut you because we got a bunch of more people, but thank you for the call. I would just suggest if you can't do an intervention, then write a very thoughtful email. Sometimes, what do they say? Detach with an axe. It's, you can only offer. You can't make him do it. And if it's going to come there and get you shot, you got to avoid that.
Obviously, right.
Now, someone's saying I gave bad advice to someone, so let's,
I don't believe it.
This is Joey in Milwaukee.
Okay, hi, Joey.
Hey, how you doing, Jim?
I'm good. What advice did I give that was bad? It was probably unintentional.
No, I just want to reiterate because it sounded good at the time. The guy was in the military for like 14 years. He was 34 years old, and he wanted to get into radio.
Oh, right.
And when I was thinking about it later on, I was like, wait a minute, this guy's got 6 years left in the military. If he stuck it out, he could retire with a pension and full medical for the rest of his life to be able to have a safety net to fall back on.
Okay, sure. All right.
You told him, yeah, go ahead. If you want to follow your dream as somebody in the radio.
Wait a minute, but
go ahead.
I'm sorry to interrupt you, but didn't I say to him, too, when I found out he had kids, you have to weigh the option with, are you going to be able to provide for your kids? I remember something about that and saying that you have to weigh the option and see what it is. I remember that very well, that call.
Okay, maybe you said that, but what I would have wanted to rather hear was, hey, how about you stick it out for another 6 years? You'll be 40 when you get out. You'll have a full pension and medical for the rest of your life.
All right.
I mean, my father retired in 1967. He's had a full pension and medical, and he's still alive today.
All right, well.
I mean, 48 years later, 46 years later, he's still collected from the military. I mean, if you get into if you want to friggin' be an intern and at a radio show, it would help for that guy to have his pension and medical so that he doesn't have to worry about a paycheck to feed his kids. That's all I wanted to say. I didn't probably didn't pay attention to you saying weigh the options.
That's fine.
You kind of said, you kind of were like, yeah, go for your dreams. But
well, you know what it is, Jerry? Sorry, again, and Jerry, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. At times you say go for your dreams because it's what the advice, it's what I'm qualified to say because it's what I did. So I hate to hear people who don't pursue what they love.
Right.
But I don't think I would ever say like, hey, fuck your kids and who cares if they eat. You have to weigh options. But obviously this guy, if you know this, Jerry, he knows it.
Right. No one blindly takes advice. People ask for advice, but the odds of someone's actually going to take the advice is something completely different.
Yeah, they sometimes want you, people when they ask you for advice, sometimes want you to confirm or refute what they already think.
They want your input. They're not actually, it's not Bible for them. You know what I mean? Or it's not scripture for them. It's yeah.
Even though it should be. I mean, if they're calling this program, you should absolutely. Bailey,
you giving bad advice, I don't believe it.
Oh, I certainly do. I'm always surprised when someone says that it works out. Like if someone actually calls, hey, I called you last week. I'm like, wow, I thought everybody shot themselves at the end of the show. So who do you want to take, Bailey? Because I can't read that.
I can't. Well, I got one from Virginia. That's where I'm from. Maybe that'll be good or terrible.
Oh, let's go with a location call. Virginia.
Right. This is Al in Virginia. Wants to quit his job. Not sure what to do.
Here, maybe you can fuck up his life for him.
Yeah, let's fuck it up. Yes, Al?
Hey, Jim. What's up?
Hi, buddy.
Big fan of the show. Love your advice show.
Thank you.
So here's my situation. About a year and a half ago, moved down to Virginia by myself, no family, only one friend who offered me a job. Looking for greener pastures, looking for a change. I was tired with the situation that I was in. And ever since I've moved down here, everything that I didn't want to go right went wrong. So everything that I've done has gone wrong. I'm at a point where I'm just at my wit's end. I'm depressed. I hate my job. I hate the...
What is the job? Did you say? I'm sorry if you said I missed it, Al.
Yeah, it's overnight operations, kind of, as a supervisor at a contracting place.
Okay.
So I hate the staff that I work with. They're horrible. They're ignorant. I feel like I've burnt out so many different times already. I've made horrible mistakes, and I'm at a point where I don't even know what to do, because I feel like if I quit, if I give up on what I tried doing over here, I feel like I've done a disservice to myself, and at the same time, like I said, I had a friend who hired me, and I feel like I'm doing a disservice to him.
How old are you, Al?
24.
Oh, you're a young guy. How many people, and I'm not saying you shouldn't find another job first, how many people stay in situations because we're afraid of saying I made the wrong move?
Right.
And you stay with the job.
Oh, totally. But why punish yourself if you genuinely, I'm not saying do one thing or the other. Obviously you could go either way on it, but and also because you're 24, it's like your current life circumstance. It probably feels all encompassing. Like this is your reality, but it's just your current reality. Life is constantly, like there's constant transitions in life. You know what I mean? So it's like, I feel like ultimately, whether or not you stay at the job or decide to do it today or tomorrow, life changes regardless. Like what sucks is the depression. That's what's really tough, is the depression. Do you have anxiety?
Oh yeah.
Do you get like random panic attacks?
Yeah, I do. It's like sometimes doing the simplest task, whether it's at home or work, just turns into, complex rocket science, because the decision that I decide to make is the right one, but I have so much panic and so much indecision in me that I end up making the completely retarded one.
Well, because you're afraid you're going to make the wrong decision, and it's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least I'll speak for myself. That's exactly how I am, where I'm afraid to make a decision because the worst thing I can imagine is regretting the decision. And anxiety leads to so much depression because you use like all that energy being anxious and being worried, and your heart's racing and your hands are sweating, that ultimately it's going to turn into depression. You know what I mean? Your body's going to do the opposite swing where it's just depressed and lethargic. And I have the worst anxiety in the world. So that's why I was asking. It sucks ass, but, I wouldn't put too much pressure on yourself, whether making a big decision, like, do I stay here? Do I not? But also don't stay because you're afraid to admit that you want to change paths. Like, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. That doesn't help anybody.
And we all make a shitty decision sometimes. It's life.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I made tons of shitty decisions. I can't tell you how many losers I've blown in my life. There's one guy, I literally call him Cool Sweater Guy to this day. Like, that's because he had a nice sweater. I have no idea what his name was. So, talk to me about regrets. I do tranny porn.
Yes. So what you do is you look for another job and you get another job. Fuck letting anybody down and if you made a dumb move, hey, look, you're 24, you're not 60.
Right.
You just fix it. That's all.
And there's no person there actually sitting there waiting to let you know you fucked up or you did something terrible. Like, no one's judging you. Like, everyone's too busy worried about their own, like, crippling anxiety.
Okay.
Yeah. No, you guys are right.
Damn right we are.
Thank you, Al, very much.
I hate being judged for something negatively. I mean, I feel like if a person with good intentions, then, at the end of the day, I don't want to burn, colossal bridges that, someday I may need or may not need,
Right. If you find yourself asking yourself if you're a good person, then the answer is yes, because assholes don't think about that shit.
Right.
I usually try to follow a path, not perfection, but, the good path. And sometimes, I just end up killing myself over it.
Right.
All right, Al, thank you very much for the call, buddy. And good luck to you. And, again, we all switch jobs sometimes. It's okay. You're not a failure because you switch a job. Anthony and Callie, when I fuck my girl from behind, and that's all I can read, and I'm dying to know what it says.
You can move your mouse over it. It'll expand the comments.
I get so scared of you, Rock. I just don't want to fail. Now it's small letters again. What's that say, Billy?
When I fuck my girlfriend from behind, my girlfriend is losing her breasts. Oh, breath, not her breasts.
Okay, let's talk to Big Dick in California.
Anthony.
Hey,
Hi.
What's going on, Jim?
Hey.
Hey, Jim. Hey, no, it's not. I don't think it's a big dick issue. I have a fucking normal dick. It's
I think it may be the position she's in. But either way, it fucking ruins it every time. Like while I'm fucking her, when we're done, when we're done, it's almost as if she's holding her breath. I've asked her that, but she says that she's not. But then she just gets short of breath. As soon as she's done, she starts coughing like erratically. And fucking the other night, she got like into tears. It just fucking horrified me. It's like ruining. I love ass, and then that's just fucking up. That's like my favorite position, and now I feel like it's kind of being ruined. I don't know if I have to go to a doctor or.
Wait, so is it anal sex or just doggy style?
No, it's just doggy style.
What the fuck?
I've never heard of that.
No.
Yeah, me neither. That's what I don't understand.
Do you think, and this is maybe if Dr. Steve is listening, I don't, this is a medical question, but I wonder, could it be a psychological thing where she's panicking that her pussy or ass stinks or whatever it is, she's having a panic thing, and maybe that's what you're dealing with?
I don't know. I mean, we've never had the issue. We've been together 5 years. I mean, I still eat her pussy, and it doesn't smell or. I mean.
Have you asked her about that? Why she reacts that way?
Yeah, no. I mean, I just asked the other night. Even when it happened again, it came up again. This has been going on for like the past year and a half, and she just says she doesn't know. She just feels like she's losing her breath, like her breaths get way shorter. And I asked her, is her head down in your ass? Is that like maybe the blood's rushing to your head, or I don't know. She just says that she thinks. She feels like her head there's all kinds of blood in it, and she starts coughing like crazy.
Wow. I mean, can you say you like ass? I mean, is there a way to kind of incorporate her ass and then just like bang her another way? You know what I mean? Like maybe eat her ass for 30 minutes first?
Yeah, of course. I mean, and that's the thing. She doesn't do that if she's on her back. If she's on her back and just fuck missionary or even sideways or any of that shit, it's fine. Or I mean, even if she goes down on me, it doesn't happen that way. But if for some reason, it's when she gets in that doggy style position, then she immediately starts.
I talked to a doctor because it sounds.
We have a doctor on the phone. Dr. Steve is on. I'm going to say one psychological thing too. Was she ever assaulted or like that? That it all goes back to being molested. But do you think anything ever happened to her in that position that brings back?
I mean, not that I know of, and I've never really brought that up. I mean, that's a good point.
Dr. Steve, hello. Are you here, Dr. Steve?
He's in the middle of something. He's trying to find a place to call back in.
Oh, okay. All right, well, just listen in on the response, and thank you very much for the call. Wait till Dr. Steve.
Thank you, Jay.
Okay, buddy. Bailey, do you see one that you like? You want me to go over any of them?
I can see them from here.
Okay.
Let's see. Erica, into spanking.
Oh, let's
that
talk
might be cool.
Who's that? Tom in Toronto.
I think it's Doug in Boston.
Oh, is that Doug in Boston?
Doug in Boston.
Think.
You're right. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Jimmy, love your show, man. You found a new calling, buddy.
Thank you.
One of my favorite things to listen to.
That's right. I like to consider it saving lives. Go right ahead.
Actually, a couple of things. One, well, first of all, the reason I called was because you guys were talking about the smoking thing, and I'm a big spanko and have been forever. And there's a great site that's called Spanking Glamour. Unfortunately, the guy is, so I'm also a video professional. I mean, I work in the industry, and, most spanking videos are kind of less than stellar. This guy really gets it down. He's great lighting, gorgeous girls. He has them, say different things. It's really cool. But he also does a site called Smoking Glamour. And he does the same thing but it's all the girls are smoking. And then occasionally he will combine the girls who are smoking while they're getting spanked. And, the smoking thing has never done anything for me. But this was for the guy who called before. If he's into smoking, I strongly suggest the Smoking Glamour.
That's awesome. It sounds perfect. You know what? I'm a sucker for those websites that actually have really good lighting and like they're you know what I mean? Like you can actually see the girl as opposed to other ones where they try to hide their girl at all costs.
Yeah.
Oh, no. This guy is great. And he actually, he's got a face camera because a lot of us who are into the spanking thing, you like to watch the expressions and the whole thing. And,
okay.
He gets them to say, oh, I'm so bad and spank me and I'm so sorry. And, every once in a while you get one who really looks like there's some tears involved. I'm not really sure what that kink is, but that really does it for me as well. So, huge.
Well, that's awesome.
Thank you very much, buddy.
Now, wait, Jimmy, one other thing.
Sure.
I got to tell you, you hooked me up with Erotic Review.
Oh, yeah, the Erotic Review is very good, yes.
Yeah, oh, my God. And I'm 51 years old and have never been with a hooker or an escort or anything. And my wife is kind of not into when we first got married, she was into my kink. And then, of course, we have kids and so on and so forth.
Sure.
And that goes away. It's very sad. But so finally, I couldn't take it anymore. And I found this great girl and on the erotic review, and it was just an awesome experience. The only issue I have is that it's really expensive.
It is in a lot of ways, and again, you don't want to be blowing your family's vacation money on. I'm single, so for me, it's a little bit different. But hey, it is fun, isn't it?
Oh, my God. We had such a great time, and it was hours and hours. Well, actually, it was probably a little over 2 hours, closer to 3, but it's still, like $600. I mean, shit, man.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
All right, brother. Thank you for the call very much. Thank you. And, Doctor, let's talk to Dr. Steve real quick about this. Oh, yes, Erock.
Also, the guy called back who had the question that we wanted to refer to Dr. Steve, so you want them both?
Oh, just Steve for now, and then if he needs a guy, we'll bring him back on. Hello, Dr. Steve.
Hey, man.
You're talking to me and the delightful Bailey J.
Hi.
Hey, Bailey.
How are you? Oh, I'm good.
Did you hear what our call was?
No.
Oh, sorry.
I was on rounds, and I'm in the middle of the hospital, and Sal calls me and says, "Oh, Jim wants to talk to you about someone who's short of breath when they're doing it on all fours." And it's like I'm running from room to room trying to find a place where I can actually talk about this in the hospital without incurring some sort of hostile work environment complaint. So,
all right, let's talk to Anthony in California. Let's get him on. He can explain to you, Dr. Steve. When he fucks his girl doggy style, she gets like a shortness of breath.
Okay.
So Anthony, could there be a physical reason for that?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
What would it be?
Oh, okay. Well, I thought you were going to put him on. If she has a little bit of what we call truncal obesity, which means that she's got a little extra fat in the lower abdomen region when she bends over, and especially if she's thrusting backward, that fat is going to push up on her diaphragm, and it's going to keep it from fully contracting, and she will have difficulty breathing. And it's the same kind of thing that you have. When you were overweight, Jim, you may have noticed when you bent over and tied your shoes, even just for a second, you would feel this shortness of breath, and it's the same.
Just say it, Dr. Steve. When I pushed back against a young lady that I was paying. That's a truncal obesity. Fuck.
How do you bring that up?
I know. What a great Twitter name. Hey, Anthony, does your girl have truncal obesity?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, she has a little bit of a tummy, but she only weighs 125 pounds. She's probably, she's 5'6".
Oh, wow. Okay. That's pretty thin.
She's not fat by any means, but
yeah.
she does have a little bit of a belly that I know that, she works out every day, but she tries to get rid of that little bit of beer belly that she has. It's very tiny, but she has it.
Yeah. Well, and it doesn't take a lot. I'm close to my ideal body weight, and I still have that problem when I'm bent over tying my shoes. So, you'll feel this sudden onset of shortness of breath that is relieved as soon as you change position. Now, if she has it in any other circumstances, shortness of breath when she lies down or shortness of breath when she's prone or anything like that, then obviously she needs to get checked out by her doctor. The thing I would suggest is get one of those, what's that pillow thing, the Liberator or something? What is that, Jim? Do you remember the name of that thing? You guys had it in the studio at one point.
The Liberator, yeah.
Try using a Liberator, and that way she can lean forward on that thing and take the pressure off of her diaphragm, or just see if using a different position, doggy style, where she's not hunched back on her legs, where she's actually sitting up on all fours, if that makes a difference. And then let me know. Email me. WeirdMedicineXM@gmail.com, and we can walk through this.
WeirdMedicineXM@gmail.com. Thank you, Dr. Steve, very much.
Oh, anytime, man.
Thank you guys both.
And thanks, Anthony. See, that's what when sometimes it's just, me, I go right for the molestation. Should we get fucked in the ass by an uncle? And then, of course, there's trying to truncal obesity. Dr. Steve is so smart. All right, so Tom and truncal obesity is the fucking term of the century. Tom in Toronto has something about Vegas. Tom?
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for coming to Toronto back in the fall.
Oh, you're welcome, buddy. Thank you.
Hey, a coworker went to Toronto, right? And he's getting me to clean his truck while he's gone. And then I found it almost appears like a freaking suicide note.
What's it say?
It says, I must go now. The torment and loneliness has become unbearable. I have come to realize I will be alone until I die. No one cares anyway.
Well, that's a suicide note.
Yeah.
I will be forgotten in 6 months. I gave up on myself about 10 years ago, and I cannot take another year of it. I am beyond help. Like, he's supposed to be home like next week, right? And it's like, what do I say to him?
Let me ask you now. Where did you find the note?
It was in his truck.
Where in the truck?
Well, just in he was paying me to clean his truck, the outside, the inside, all that stuff. And I was going through his papers, like sorting shit out there, and I come across this. It's like, what the fuck?
Do you think he wanted that found? That sounds almost like he left it there to be found.
Well, I don't know.
I mean, guys are good at having you not find things they don't want you to find. You don't accidentally find someone's butt plug, like, ever. Like, guys guys are good at hiding that shit. I don't know that. And then he went to Vegas. So is he in Vegas now?
Yeah, he's there with one of his friends, or he went for like 2 weeks or whatever, right? So I don't know if they just had a bad day one day and frickin' got fed up or whatever, and just
Well, you should obviously ask him about it, because you weren't in. It's not like you searched through his diary. He paid you to clean his truck.
Right.
Yeah. So I just wondered what Jim Norton would do.
I would ask him about it. I would say, look, man, not to be nosy, but I'm cleaning this out and I see this, so of course I read it, and I'm sorry if I shouldn't have. But what's this about? I mean, and then maybe he'll talk to you. Maybe he'll say it was nothing. But he might be reaching out in his own weird way.
Right. Well, I mean, if you don't say something, and then he inevitably, if he did commit suicide, then you'd have, you know what I mean? You'd kind of have that on your conscience.
Yeah, you'd feel like a silly goose.
I guess that's one way to put it.
All right.
All right. Thanks a lot, eh?
Okay, thank you very much. No to that one. What do you think, Bailey? How about...
Fucked a girl I didn't know and I feel guilty. I'm really good with guilt.
Okay. James in Kentucky.
By that I mean I have it.
Hey.
Yeah, what's up, Jimmy, first of all?
Hi, buddy.
I don't know, it's like 90% of girls I've ever slept with, I was actually in a relationship, and then yesterday, I mean, it was during the day, it was legitimately just a hookup or booty call, whatever you want to call it, even talking through the social media, and it wasn't bad, and she liked it, but I just really feel really fucking guilty. Like, as soon as I left, I just felt like this weight on me.
Why?
I have no idea. That's why I'm calling you.
It could be a couple of things. It's either A, you are religious, or you feel like, I should be or not religious, I just feel like I should be in a relationship, or do you know that she wants more than you're going to give her? Like, sometimes when somebody won't say, like, hey, look, I'm looking for love right now, or I'm looking to be cared for, we pretend we don't notice that, and we fuck them, and then sometimes the guilty feelings come because we know that we capitalized on their loneliness or their sadness.
Right. Well, very few girls are in it for the cum on their stomach. You know what I mean? Like, they want a boyfriend, so...
Well, literally, it was kind of the opposite. Like, it was pre-established that I was going to show up, we were going to fuck, and then I was going to leave, and then, hey, I'll let you know the next time we need to fuck or whatever.
Well, maybe you feel used, or maybe you just like to be in a relationship.
Yeah.
I wouldn't kill yourself with guilt.
That's the thing. Are you like a recovering Catholic like me?
No.
Well, because I was raised Catholic, and so now, as a result, I have like looping anxiety and guilt, and I replay things I did 20 years ago that were fucked up, and then I'm like, oh, why did I do that? What's wrong with me? And I just sit there until I'm about to throw up, and then, because keep in mind, I also, the first half of my life, I had a very male mind about sex, and then now the world puts female pressure on me about sex, so I have the memories of being a horny, disgusting, you know what I mean? Like being allowed to fuck like that. And then now being like, oh God, why did I blow those losers? Or why did I do this? And I loop this anxiety. So can you, stop the thoughts ever? Do you have any control over your thoughts?
Well, I don't know. It's like I enjoyed the liberation of, not having to worry about, what are we going to do or how am I going to get into this?
Right.
That shit's already laid out. It's just, I don't understand why there's guilt. Theoretically, I mean, it's like the perfect situation for most guys. Hey, I fucked this shit. You have to buy her dinner. But I don't know.
Well, like as Al Pacino said, and thank you very much for the call. As Al Pacino said in The Devil's Advocate, guilt's like a bag of bricks. You just got to put it down. This is a question for Bailey. I think Adrian in Toronto. Bailey's much more qualified for this one.
Actually, Jim, I thought I would rather have your feedback on this. You mentioned last week on the show that you didn't really like breast implants.
Oh, I thought you were gonna. I actually thought you were a woman named Adrian who was getting them. That's why I really did.
No.
Okay.
I want to get them. I wanted to get them for my wife. You know, we had a few kids, but you know, she's a little cautious, and I'm trying to talk her into it. But you know, it's not my body, so I can't really. I can't really force it.
So what?
I don't want to force it.
What is your question though? Like, what are you not sure of?
The results. You said on the show that 9 out of 10 implants were horrendous. I mean,
that's true.
Yeah, there's a lot of them are not good. I personally like real breasts, but if the option is implants or no tits, or implants or awful tits, you got to go with implants.
Right. Well, I have implants.
Right.
And I was very particular about how they did my implants because I've seen a lot of fucked up implants. And usually I think girls tend to want to go under the muscle. You have the option of going under or over the muscle. And the girls that go under the muscle end up with these fucking like bolt on, like they're all spacey. They just look like fucked up pecs. Like they just look fucked up. Mine are over the muscle, and as you can see, they move and they jiggle and they feel like tits, like they function like breasts.
Right.
It's all about, basically what you want to do is look at the before and after pictures of the doctor, and don't look at like what the breasts look like necessarily. Look at the symmetry. See how symmetrical the breasts look, because that means that the doctor's really good at putting in parallel pockets for the implant. Some doctors put the pockets like too far in the armpit, and then these girls have tits in their armpits and they look fucking ridiculous. Or they have room for a third tit in the middle. So you want to go to my doctor in Las Vegas. Dr. Arthur Cambero at the Surgery Center. Look up my tits, and I know I'm a dude, but I got nice fucking tits. So look at my tits and then take her there. It was like $8,000, and my tits are like the best thing that ever happened to me.
And Adrian, I would say, as far as pushing her, you don't want to push her into doing something like that, because that could build up a lot of resentment in her. Like, fuck him if he doesn't like me how I am.
No, Jim. No, I love my wife.
Sure.
We had a bunch of kids, and she breastfed, so I'm not thinking of going something large, just nice C or something like that.
Just to fix him up a little bit.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about. But I really, it stuck in my mind when you made that comment that you haven't seen many good ones.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of bad ones, but I think Bailey answered it with, that's what I wouldn't know what to look for in a doctor, and we have to let you go because we have to end the show. So
Thank you.
I apologize to Jeff, John, Brian, and Rick, who we didn't get to, and anybody else. But that's what you should do. Go and look at the symmetry. I would not have thought to do that.
Otherwise, cockeyed tits. It's fucked up.
There's nothing worse.
Lots of girls have them. My boobs are completely symmetrical. I'm very happy about that.
You know what weird implants was fucking Jodi Arias. You see her naked pictures online? She has really weird basketball tits.
I thought she was a little overrated when I saw her. She had like weird hair, and I just thought she looked really 90s and weird.
Well, she is, but
she's hot for a murderer.
Yes, exactly. When you're comparing her to other people who've shot someone in the head and almost decapitated them, she's an 11. All right. Well, thank you, Bailey. What's your name on Twitter and your podcast?
At Bailey J Show on Twitter. The podcast is The Bailey J Show on riotcast.com. And go to Vimeo.com/Film Fiasco to see my show where I host horror movies like Elvira with my tits out. It's fun.
And for myself, I'll be doing Friday morning tickets go on sale for Antisocial Comedy. Myself, Artie Lang, David Tell, and Amy Schumer. July 20th in the Sands Casino Resort Center in Bethlehem. That will sell out. And thanks, Bailey. I love having you here.
Yeah, it was awesome.
All right, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye.